What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to a new edition of the Sunday Sideline Report here on the SIN YouTube channel. Mike, Danny Boy with you. Dan, good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. The only thing is, RIP to my fantasy team because I totally forgot they had a game in Ireland today. So I didn't get to set anything, and hopefully it's not a disaster. But I already know based on who I picked and the leagues I'm in, I think I already gumped it up this week. So RP fantasy team for week 4, but that's okay. I can always come back.
You could always come back. Speaking of the game in Ireland, it is 7-3 Steelers over the Vikings. The second quarter just got underway. So
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the Vikings were driving down until they got um into the red zone, I believe. Carson Wentz had Justin Jefferson wide open. And I mean wide open, and didn't see him. It was an easy 6. That's where the Vikings are at right now.
yeah, the Vikings are in a tough spot here. Carson Wentz, we all know what he's been through and what he's done in his career,
Yeah.
but he's just not that guy. And look, when hopefully for them, JJ McCarthy could come back soon, but if not, maybe they have to look elsewhere on the market. But last week,
And
that
that's a shame.
defense was awesome. So,
It's a shame because there's there's something with him,
yeah.
and the fact that nothing's just clicking right now for Minnesota, and obviously you don't want your quarterback getting hurt, but that's the nature of the NFL, and yeah, I don't know, it's tough.
And here's the other thing: if you're Minnesota, like this is really JJ McCarthy's rookie season
Yeah,
because he missed all of last year.
yeah,
You got
even
to
with
watch Sam Darnold put up
yeah.
numbers. And then, the first two starts were kind of uneven for McCarthy. And now he's got this ankle injury. So tough spot for the Vikings. And as for Pittsburgh, listen, I know they're 2-1 entering this week. I don't know about you, Dan. I'm not a real believer right now in the Pittsburgh Steelers because if you look at their 2 wins, they barely escaped the Jets.
Hmm.
And if New England doesn't turn the ball over 5 times last week, the Patriots might beat them.
They didn't really do much against the Patriots either. Look, they have a good quarterback, and that's it. That's literally a good quarterback and an experienced head coach that knows what he's doing, who knows how to coach his team to take advantage and going through certain situations. So obviously Aaron Rodgers is gonna do his thing. Other than that, the offense doesn't really move much. And as I just said that, they're going to score a touchdown.
uh,
Shut me the fuck up, Rodgers. But yeah, no, I'm not. Right now, and I mean this. Right now, I, I, I have a lot of issues with the Pittsburgh Steelers because of the teams that they beat. We have this Vikings team who we know can be vulnerable. So
mm,
now it's like, okay, what are you against a good team? Are you this good? Because I wonder that.
hmm
The Seattle Seahawks, who we now know is a very good team, gave him fits.
yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I don't know what the Steelers are. I'm not a real believer in them, even though they're up 14-3. Touchdown Rogers to DK Metcalf. So see what happens there. But speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, they opened up week 4
Mhm.
in Arizona on Thursday night, and they came away with a 23-20 win over the Cardinals. Sam Darnold, 18 and 26, 242 yards at a touchdown. Kenneth Walker, 81 yards rushing. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 79 yards receiving on 4 receptions. For the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, 27 of 41, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He also had 41 rushing yards. And Marvin Harrison Jr., 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown in the loss. The Seahawks go to 3-1. The Cardinals go to 2-2. So, any thoughts from Thursday night?
It was a nail biter that didn't have to be a nail biter because for what 2.5 quarters, we saw a Cardinals offense that was not moving. Both defenses were fine,
Mm-hmm.
but Cardinals they weren't doing much until they got to late third, early in the fourth quarter, and then that's when they started to mount the comeback. And look, obviously, look, the Seahawks, I think they have a good defense, but they can't always make big plays. So obviously, you know, when Arizona got in a rhythm, they got in a rhythm, and it happens. Uh, but it still doesn't mean it wasn't necessary to um make it a game that it was, and it was unnecessary. It made it a lot more stressful for the offense to make big plays down the stretch.
I think a couple of things. I think one, I think Seattle is turning into that team no one really talked about this offseason, but they can be really dangerous. That defense, you're right. They're not spectacular. They're not great. They're very good.
Mhm.
And Sam Darnold, when he plays turnover free football, and we learned this last year in Minnesota, when he's turnover free, he can be really, really good.
Yeah.
And he's got an elite receiver in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Cooper Cup eventually is going to make some big plays for the Seahawks. The the tight end Arroyo is pretty good. Kenneth Walker, they're going to need him to stay healthy. But this offense has potential. And if they come together at the same
Mhm.
rate as the defense, Seattle Seahawks could be a I don't want to say a force, but they could be a tough out in the playoffs if they get there in the NFC. Just the flip side to the Cardinals, really quick. I did read off the Marvin Harrison numbers. They could have been better. He dropped a couple of passes,
Yeah.
including one that led to an interception.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, because of those drop passes, because of the lack of a running game, Kyler Murray struggled uh first half. You can tell that the offense very much didn't have any life to start off the game. And again, that's a credit to the Seahawks defense because Seahawks defense made big plays when they had to. And even though the Seattle offense wasn't great on Thursday, but they were able to score when they had to. But the Cardinals offense did nothing. Let's be real. They did nothing for almost 3 quarters.
And part of that, I do think James Conner injury is huge. That really hurts them. But just to Marvin Harrison,
Yeah.
they need to get him and Kyler Murray on the same
Mhm.
page. And where I think the Cardinals really screwed up this offseason was there were veteran receivers to be had.
Wide open the market. Yeah.
Keenan Allen didn't sign till late. You know, there were other good receivers on the market till
Yeah,
late.
but with
And
the cap, they probably could have gotten Devontae too on a
right,
short
right.
short lease
They could
deal.
have pulled. and that's where I'm going is because now you're taking a little bit of pressure off the second year guy in Harrison, and you're giving Kyler Murray another target. That's where I think the Cardinals really screwed up the offseason. I still think the Cardinals are a sleeper team in the NFC, not for the Super Bowl. I just mean for the playoffs. They've lost 2 games now by a combined 4 points.
Yeah,
They're right
it
there.
yeah, I think offensively they're okay. They have a really good defense.
They do.
I mean, I was watching that second half, and they basically, if it wasn't for obviously that game-winning drive and stuff, they basically shut out the Seahawks. Seahawks did nothing, um, and stuff. So it's a good. They have a good defense. They definitely know how to hang around for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's certainly something to watch out for if you're in the NFC and facing the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, so that's Thursday night.
Mhm.
Seahawks 3-1. Cardinals are now 2-2. Let's move into
Good to see Jackson Smith and Jigba not be an enigma this season.
that's true.
Because he certainly was for my fantasy team. I had no idea what type of week he was gonna have. So
Yeah. Well, listen, 80 yards. You can't
yeah,
complain about it.
now score a touchdown, but whatever. You know.
Would have been nice. Would have been nice. I'm with you. All right, on to today's action. And there's kind of a big thing happening in the state of New Jersey.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about people being tuned into the Mets and the Yankees on the last day of MLB regular season, even though those games are important. The Giants have now turned to Jackson Dart. He will get the start today against the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego. I don't know if you and Bill talked about this on SIP, but how is well? I'll go with you first. How are you feeling about this?
Well, my only concern is that he's facing the Chargers, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather him face like the Bears. You know, even though it's 2 weeks away, whatever it is, I would much rather him face the Bears because at least I know that the schedule is somewhat softer than what it is now. So, throwing him into a game where you have one of the best teams in the AFC. And look, obviously you always never know and stuff, but like that type of game, I don't know why you're gonna put so much pressure on the kid. And there already is way too much writing because he's a first round draft pick, late first round, but he's a first round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hopefully the savior of the franchise, face of the franchise. Like it's a big deal in New York. It is a big deal. And I wish the kid well. I'm rooting hard for him because he's actually one of the few quarterbacks in the draft that I actually liked. Um, and let's hopefully the Giants make the right decision. I'm not saying the decision was to keep Russ. I certainly threw Jameis out there. Just why not? You know, Jameis Winston has proven his time to that he can move an offense too. But they want to go with the young kid, and I get it. And let's see what happens. Bill, on the other hand, was very much okay with it. He's excited.
As he
And
should be. He should be excited.
yeah, he was done with Russ. Even though he had that game against Dallas, he was done with Russ. You know,
The thing about Russell Wilson, and look, I don't mean any disrespect towards Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was done a couple of years ago when he was in Denver.
yeah,
And then Sean Payton couldn't even unlock him. And then, he does what he did in Pittsburgh. And then you thought, okay, maybe the Giants have something here. And, well, in 3 games, he played well in one of them. And that was against a Cowboy team that is severely banged up.
yeah.
But that being said, look, I'm with you. I don't think this was the game to play Jackson Dart. I actually thought next week in New Orleans was the game.
Fair enough. I
You
mean,
know, the
now that
state,
we know what New Orleans is, that actually makes more sense than
right, right.
but even like Chicago, like I feel a lot better
Hmm.
going to like a Jameis right now for 2 games and
Yeah.
then going to Jackson Dart.
And I've wondered this. I had this conversation with a couple of Giant fans. Like, I wonder a little bit if Brian Dable was forced into this move. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know if John Mara said, "Hey, if you don't play the kid, I'm going to fire you."
Yeah,
We
like
heard the chants last week on Sunday Night Football. Again, why Chiefs Giants was Sunday Night Football, we'll never know.
yeah. I still think it was a Dable decision. I think Dable really likes Jackson Dart.
I do too. I think he does.
I think he really does. Like the fact that he says he's starting the rest of the year, I think he wouldn't have made that decision if he wasn't very confident in him. And he's been singing his praises all summer
Right.
into
Well, the other
fall.
thing is you can't go back because once you go
Yeah.
back, you're kind of back at square one
Yeah.
if you do turn back.
Yeah. So I think it was the table decision. I don't think it was a front office decision. I am very certain Joe Shane definitely had a say, or at least it had some influence.
Yeah, so, somebody out there had it.
Because look, let's be real. I still think the Joe Shane Brian Dable would have had another year after 2025. I still believe that. Pick off the Steelers. Oh, Minnesota's having a day. Yikes. Um, it was Elliott on the pick. Wow. In any case, a lot of people's jobs are riding here.
Yep.
They're gonna get another season. Brian Dable and Joe Shane, but that does not mean that there's no pressure on them now. Like they've been at this for 5 years.
And I think where you said they're going to get another year, I think a lot of that now is going to depend on how Jackson Dart plays this year. If Jackson Dart is good and you see the promise and you see the upside, they're going to run it back. But if Jackson Dart struggles, which could happen, he's a rookie, the Giants may pivot and say, you know what? We need a different offensive philosophy
Mhm.
for this kid,
Yeah.
which may not, which also is not going to be good for the kid. Look at what happened with Baker Mayfield and how many coaches and offensive coordinators he went through his first couple of years.
Until he
So,
landed on top Bulls, right?
well, and now now under Todd Bowles, he's
Hmm.
legit sleeper MVP candidate Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Yeah. I mean, and look, Baker Mayfield, I mean, he was the number one pick in the draft for a reason. Like he's very good.
Yeah,
So I think he can dominate in any system. I think he really is that good. I don't know how good Jackson Dart is.
right.
You may need an offensive minded head coach. We already have one,
You do
but
have
we need another one.
and two coaches in 2 years usually doesn't sing well for
Well, it didn't do well for Darnold.
no. Yeah, but his first coach was Adam Gase. I think everybody wants
Well,
to forget
I
that.
think it's his first coach where he was really learning the ropes was Gase. His rookie year was still with Bulls. Well, like I don't know, man. I really think let's see how he does. Let's see how he does.
And it's going to be hard to evaluate him today because the Chargers defense has been
Yeah,
really good. So,
it's otherworldly right now.
yeah, they've played really well. So we'll see what happens there at MetLife. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, last week he beat your Jets, but then he called out Jets defensive coordinator Steve Wilks,
This
who,
doesn't.
who he claimed cut him in Carolina.
He didn't do
And
this.
Wilkes said, yeah, well, I really didn't have the same personnel decisions.
Yeah, well, he specifically he was like, I would have kept him, I would have kept McCaffrey, I would have kept all these people. Like,
Yeah, if I had same personnel, why would I trade Christian McCaffrey? Which is a
yeah,
great response.
yeah. I mean, look, it was his situation in Carolina was terrible. He had terrible coaching.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, Steve Wilkes in the interim, you know, what was he supposed to do in a bad spot? You know, look, if anything, I would blame Matt Rule because it wasn't he the coach
Matt
of
Rule,
Carolina.
Matt Rule eventually became the coach. Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know why he was spewing out names. Oh, Hassan Reddick, this was a revenge game. This is my revenge
yeah,
game
yeah.
against
It was
Steve
a real
Wilkes.
revenge game for Hassan Reddick.
Get the fuck out of here. You know, Hassan Reddick stole money from us and lied to us and clearly didn't want to be with the Jets. You know, so I don't want to hear that bull crap. Look, obviously, if I'm the Jets, again, uh, focus on your thing. Don't worry about what other people are saying. Don't worry about what Rodgers said after the game. Don't worry about what Baker said after his game. Like, let's focus on building a culture. If we go away from that, and I'm starting to see that with Aaron Glenn a little bit. You know, the same old Jets. We're not the same old Jets. You know, this is something different. So now you're starting to get things creeping into your mind. Don't do that, man. Like, I believe in you. I have no choice, but I believe in you. You know? So yeah, I thought the bigger comments were stupid and clearly, I don't know why he has such hatred for it's always the Jets. It's the Jets. I'm telling you, there's something about this Jet team that people just hate, and that's just the reality.
I just think Baker has to play with this chip on his shoulder,
And
and,
yeah,
and
I think it fuels them. You're right.
it does. It's something that ignites in him. Like you cut me, or you said this about me, or did this to me, and it lights a fire under. And I just think that's so. It's an interesting way to go about, but it's the way he goes about it. And you can't right now. He's playing great, so
Yeah,
can't fault him. Uh, okay. One of the other things I wanted to get into is again your neck of the woods. There's no Jaden Daniels today for the Commanders against the Falcons.
yeah. No Terry McLaurin
No,
either because of a quad. Um, it was funny. I was listening on the radio the other day, and the radio reporter for this news station that I listened to, he was like, "Well, that's half your offense," you know, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's a huge loss. But you know what? I have a lot of respect for Marcus Mariota.
mm-hmm.
He obviously he had to change his career around many times and he could never get settled anywhere. And the fact that the team has confidence in him that he could move the ball around and get them a win is huge. And look, it's another revenge angle for Mariota. Obviously, the he's facing ATL this week. Obviously, everyone knows that was a very rough ending for him over there, documented in that Netflix documentary. Um, so there's a lot of writing for that. But I think the Commanders, they still got weapons out there. Marcus Mariota intends to take advantage of those weapons, mostly receivers. The running backs are hit and miss right now. And let's see what they can come up with a win. I think Dan Quinn has done a really good job so far.
And you brought up the revenge angle for Mario. Revenge angle also for Dan Quinn, who was the former coach of the Falcons. So,
Yep.
but this is a game. Listen, you went out and you got Debo Samuel this past offseason. This is a Debo Zach Ertz kind of game. That's who
Yeah.
you're gonna have to utilize. I have no idea what the Falcons are. because 1 week they're shutting down the Vikings, the next week they're getting shut out by the Panthers. I don't know what the Falcons are. They're the biggest confusion angle to me in the NFL. Is Michael Penix good? Is Michael Penix not good? Is he questionable? I don't know.
Is Raheem Morris a good coach? I mean, I don't know. You
Is
know,
Kirk Cousins still sitting on a bench somewhere?
is he helping out? Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know. The Falcons confused the heck out of me, man.
I'm just so confused because they have a good roster and
There's a
yet
lot of talent.
they have performances like they did last week. It's just like I don't know what to think of you. It's like a questionable date. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
see it.
eight.
I see it in some aspects, though, Mike.
Yeah.
I really do. I see what they're going for. They're certainly going for a more competitive team, not necessarily the most offensive, explosive team, and stuff. But is Rogers okay? He's fine. All right, in any case, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, no. Hey, listen, if Aaron Rodgers goes down, that is massive.
Yeah, he fumbled the football, but it went back to the Steelers. In any case, I definitely see what they're trying to do. They're definitely trying to be more competitive. They're not explosive offensively. That's something we've learned in 3 weeks.
Mhm.
But they are trying to be a little more competitive.
And here's the thing: they have the explode. You got Bijan Robinson at running back, Drake London, Darnell Mooney. I still don't understand what Kyle Pitts is. I really don't, but it is what it is. And now it's imperative on the quarterback to be able to light this fire in this offense because or start the fire
Yeah.
of this offense because they're better than what they show.
Yeah, and look, I know in the short time that Kirk Cousins has played quarterback for Atlanta, and look, it's a small sample size. I know he did say that he was having a bad season,
Yeah.
but Kirk Cousins has the experience to run a big time offense. And I get you want to get this kid a try, and I commend the Falcons for it. But you also got to win games. Sometimes you just got to teach them how to win. And Kirk Cousins, even though he's never won anything, still has that winning mentality. You don't want to show that?
My thing is this. Why in the same offseason would you sign Kirk Cousins to a guaranteed
Yeah.
deal and then draft a kid in the top 10? Makes zero sense to me.
That was a bold move. That move surprised everyone. And
Yeah, it still makes zero sense, but we'll see what happens. The Falcons host the Commanders. The Commanders last year played in the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles today are in Tampa Bay. They'll play the Bucks. We'll talk more about that game in a little bit. But my question to you, Dan, is the Packers are really good. The Lions over the last 2 weeks have proven, hey, week one was kind of fluky. Who do you think right now is the biggest threat to Philly in the NFC?
good question. The Packers had a wake-up call against the Browns.
Oh, it's such a bad loss. Sorry, Patchy.
I want to say the Rams because they matched up with them very well last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give them a lot of credit, a lot more credit than a lot of people are making. I'm gonna say Rams right now. That could obviously change throughout the season. Um, Only because I definitely see them matching up well offensively. Um, I mean, they nearly gave they gave up a lot of points on defense, but still, it was good. It was a good effort.
I like the Rams too. I think the Rams are a really good football team. I, I said in the preseason I wanted it to be the Niners,
Yeah,
but the Niners just have way too many injuries. Nick
yeah.
Bosa now out for the year with a
Torn
torn
ACL.
ACL.
Yeah.
I think the team, I like the Rams with you. I'm going to go the Lions, but I think this is going to come with a caveat. I want the Lions to do something opposite, either A, opposite Aiden Hutchinson and get another pass rusher, or B, get a legitimate number one shutdown corner.
Mhm.
If they can do one of those two things,
Yeah.
I love the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, in the off season, who do they get? DJ Reed,
DJ Reed, they still have
who
Terry on Arnold.
yeah, Reed's very good. The concern with Reed is that he leaves too much space because he can't. Well, for one thing, he's also too small. But like, you know, if yeah, if you can get a big time corner via the draft or via the market, like it's not the worst idea.
You should be one of those teams, Detroit, in that kind of Brad Holmes from the Rams F them picks thing because you're on
Mhm.
the cusp.
Yeah, you're right there.
You're right there. So we'll see what happens. But the NFC a little bit deeper than I think a lot of
Mm.
people thought because
Well,
Tampa
well, I
Bay's
knew the NFC was going to be deep because you had a lot of good teams. You had a lot of good teams last year. So now they have more good teams and a lot of big time playmakers, big time star.
yeah.
So I certainly thought the NFC was going to be pretty good. And so far, so good. They've been excellent.
So we talked about Philly. They're 3-0. Flip side of that, there's a team 0-3 in the city of Houston.
Yeah.
And the Texans were a team 2 years ago. We were talking about, man, the future's bright.
Hmm.
And right now, I have no idea what the heck is going on in Houston. 0-3, they play the Titans today. Somehow they're an 8-point favorite over the Titans today.
Yeah, it's a toilet bowl matchup.
It is not
So
a
that's what it is. It's a toilet bowl matchup.
it is not a good game. The Texans were the talk of the town, and now they're just another team. CJ Stroud has been awful
Mm,
to start this year.
yeah.
And since his rookie year, he even last year he struggled at times. So, Dan, what do you think is going on there?
Um, well, I didn't like that they got rid of Laramie Tunsil. They allowed him to go to
Yeah,
the
that one
Commanders.
still doesn't.
The and it shows, you know, the offensive product for the Texans still hasn't, and I can't say hasn't recovered, but like, you know, um, like you can tell that the protection for CJ Stroud isn't what it was before. And that's a big deal there. I don't know, man. But if you really think about it, and we give the Texans a lot of praise because of what they were before.
Yep.
And they've now won AFC South twice in a row at 10-7 both years. So we give them that credit, but now we need something better than what they've than 10-7. And so far, not necessarily that. Like it's not heading that way for sure. So we have to start expecting them to be better. And right now they're in a massive hole. They're 0-3. The Colts are 3-0. So already, you're way far behind in the race. And that could be problematic. That could be very problematic for them. They had a close game against the Bucks, which was, you know, respectable, but they didn't get the job done. They didn't score the points that they needed to score. So they have a lot of issues going on in Houston right now.
And they got a lot of talent on that defense, so they need the offense to really pick it up, and that starts with C.J. Stroud, who you brought up the pressure. Last year he was sacked a lot. This year he's still under fire, which makes the Laramie Tunsil trade even dumber.
Yeah.
But this team's just they got to figure something out because if they lose to the Titans today and fall to 0-4, it's gonna be forget Panic City. It's gonna be over. People are gonna be talking about Rockets basketball.
Yeah. Kevin Durant, all those things.
Kevin Durant, Rockets basketball coming to Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. It's bad. We'll see what happens with Stroud and the Texans today against the Titans. Some games we got on the agenda for today. Talked about the Commanders and the Falcons. We brought it up a little bit, but the Eagles and the Bucks. This should be a fun game.
Mm.
2 3-0 teams. No Mike Evans for the Bucks today. He's out with a hamstring.
That's big. The Bucks are they are they get a lot of penalties and they make a lot of mistakes.
Oh my god, that first quarter against the Jets last week felt like it was
Brutal.
never going to end because of the
It was,
penalties.
it was brutal. And look, say what you want about the offensive way, and they have a lot of them. They make plays. They're not. They're not a. They're not dangerous enough. Like
Mm.
so. I think. I think it'll be close. I think defensively they're there. Todd Bowles' defense always is ready to go. That's something I learned about his time with the Jets. Is that, his defense is actually pretty good. Um, but yeah, man, like I expect this to be a close game. Um, you got good defensive players on both sides, and then of course the offense that features the tush push is always going to um do something spectacular.
The tush push. So controversial.
Yeah.
But you know what? Look, I'm with you. I think this is a close game. Philly unlocking AJ Brown last week, I think, is a massive sign for them. I believe Tampa Bay might be getting Chris Godwin back today. I'm not 100% on that.
I
I know
haven't seen
he's
anything.
questionable. I'll double check that in a minute.
Was
But without Mike Evans, you're going to put a lot of pressure on Emeka Buka, the rookie. So let's just see if Godwin. Now I know the inactive list does not come out
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah, dude.
For about
Come on,
around 11:30.
come on, Wentz. There you go.
No, Chris Godwin is expected to make his debut today.
Well, that's good news for them.
That's massive news for the Bucks. Chris
Give Baker
Godwin
another
coming
weapon.
back.
They need it.
Henry and Phineas would be proud. So that'll help them. Obviously, Baker's Baker, but I'm gonna go. I like Philly on the road. Talk Commanders, Falcons. Uh, Speaking of a team you brought up before, the Brownies go to Detroit. They're gonna play the Lions.
This is not fair. The Lions are a good team. Lions are a good team. Browns aren't great. Oh, is that? Oh, you slipped. Oh, Jefferson, no. Go, 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 go. You have one timeout. Call timeout. You're not calling it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
If you want to explain what just happened, go.
Carson Wentz stayed in the pocket, was able to roll out. Oh, he's gonna get sacked. Oh no, not no, no, no. But he threw the pass at wide open Jefferson. Jefferson had a massive lane. He's still on the ground. Had a massive lane to get closer to the end zone, and he slipped. He slipped. Oh, that was
And
brutal.
he's still down, you said.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh
when
boy.
scrambles, he was wide open. He could have gotten six. Wow. He caught the ball and slipped. Wow. That's a shame.
Oh boy.
In any case. Lions Browns.
So let us know if anything does happen with Jefferson, if he's good.
He's good. He's good. He's just frustrated because
Okay.
he should have scored a touchdown. And they said, yeah, 24 seconds on the clock. Um, second and 12. Wonder if they got like a penalty or whatever. And he dropped the ball. Who was that?
All right. So Lions Browns.
Yeah,
You're right, but the Browns coming off that win over the Packers, they got some momentum,
yeah.
but they're running into a buzzsaw that the last 2 weeks has been so darn good.
Yeah, I mean it's the problem is the Lions are expected to be one of the top NFC teams, if not the
Mm.
top. So when you have a floater, oh, I was almost picked off. Um, when you have a team like the Lions and you're facing a team like the Browns, look, I think the Browns played well against the Packers.
Yeah.
I think the Packers got a little too cocky. I'm calling it like it is, Patchy. They got a little cocky. They thought that they can go in and beat up the Browns, and they didn't. They didn't take care of business. So I will give the Browns credit for that. But this is a different team. This is the Lions. The Lions, they aren't too cocky. They understand that they have to take care of business. They play well. They're coached well. Like there's a lot. Oh, what the hell? Is that a penalty? Ramsey. What the fuck is he doing? Yeah, so that's where I stand on the Detroit. Detroit is right now they're definitely more polished than Green Bay is. Even though Green Bay is a great team, they're definitely more polished and um more set because they've been there, done that.
Also, there's more trust for the quarterback between them and the Packers. And I'll get into Jordan Love in a little bit when we talk to Cowboys and the Packers. But look, I want to give Joe Flacco some love after last week getting that win. This isn't a great Browns team. And he goes out there week in, week out
Yeah,
until either they feel either Dylan Gabriel or Shadur's ready.
I hope
But
it's Shador.
Joe Flacco gives it his all every time he's out there.
Yeah.
That being said, the Lions are on another level right now,
Mhm.
the way they're playing, especially offensively. So many weapons. You have the two running backs, you got Laporta, Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Lions fans, you've earned it.
Yeah.
Uh, You brought up the Colts earlier. They're going to put their 3-0 record on the line. They go to LA and play the Rams.
Mhm.
That should be this should be a very interesting game.
Yeah.
And it's a trap game for the Rams. Played Philly last week. They play the Niners on a short week this week. And you get the Colts who are 3-0. Might be a little bit of a trap for the Rams.
Let's see. I don't know, like the way I've watched Daniel, I've never seen this stretch of good quarterback play from Daniel Jones. Like even the year where the Giants made the playoffs with Jones, like he had it wasn't like it was clean every single game. Like there were some issues bound to happen. The turnovers, the unnecessary sacks that he had to take all the time. And just a lot of the turnovers and a lot of the BS. Um, so far, Daniel Jones has played clean football,
Yep.
and again, I think that's more credit to him than the coaches because I don't really trust the coaches. But I think right now, James Steichen looks good because Daniel Jones is looking good.
I think the important thing about making Daniel Jones look good is a great running game. And Jonathan Taylor has been awesome the first couple of weeks
Isn't
here.
it nice to see Jonathan Taylor like for the past like 3, 4 seasons or so? Like we've been waiting for this Jonathan Taylor to come back and be explosive.
Yeah, his health, him being healthy is so
Yeah, it's been
important to this team.
critical.
They finally got some weaponry with Tyler Warren at tight end.
Yeah,
Michael Pittman's pretty good. So Daniel Jones is surrounded by enough talent.
yeah.
And you're right. Him playing clean football is the most important thing because we never saw that with the Giants. He was never clean. Even the year they went to the playoffs, Saquon was healthy all year,
Mhm.
and that was
Was he?
absolutely so important for him.
Yeah, but the thing with that season is that he still made mistakes. The Giants were not that great of a team. He still made a
No,
lot of mistakes that year. So far, absolutely stellar what he's done. And look, you have to understand, Daniel Jones trying to fight for his football life. So
yeah,
it's been a godsend for the Colts. Let's hope they keep it up. You know,
yeah. Right now, they can run away with the AFC South, man. Texans and Titans are on 3. Jags are 2-1, but jury's still out on them, in my opinion.
yeah.
Then we get a big one in Kansas City. We
Oh,
get the Chiefs and the Ravens. The loser goes to 1-3.
and that's huge. I don't care what anyone says. 1-3 to start the season is pretty rough.
And the Chiefs will get Xavier Worthy back, it looks
Good.
like today. The
Good.
Ravens will be without Matabuki, the nose tackle. I said this on Wishbone, and I'm going to repeat it here. The Baltimore Ravens can recover from 1-3.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is there's no dominant team in the AFC North. It's not Cincinnati, it's not Pittsburgh. The Kansas City Chiefs cannot fall to 1-3 if their hopes are to win the AFC West because the Chargers are 1-3-0, but they're also 3-0 within the division.
Yeah, the climate in the West is so and look, the West has always been the tough to me the toughest division. Like people say it's the East, but come on, let's be real. Dolphins always suck, Jets always suck. The Patriots started sucking. You know,
Yeah, take
the
that, Tom Brady.
yeah, the West has always had big time players. They just haven't tapped into that energy yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're seeing the Chargers do it. We may see the Raiders do it.
Yeah, Denver.
Exactly. So with the Chiefs falling to 1-3, that is going to put them in a very troubling spot. And look, they're not fully healthy. That's another big factor
Yeah,
that has ruined a lot of their plans. Is the fact that the Chiefs don't have everybody ready to go. And you got to put a lot of pressure on a Patrick Mahomes, on a Travis Kelce, to make big time plays. And it's a lot. It's a lot on their shoulders.
Yeah, and look, even last week, Mahomes wasn't perfect
No, he did
against
not
the
have a good game. But
Giants, but now it's time for, hey, you know what? This for some reason I this is a game where I think he can win. The Ravens secondary has not been good to start the season. The pass rush has been there, but you could bring in an extra tight end to chip or whatnot. I think this is the game where maybe this offense gets going a little bit because they need it desperately.
yeah,
Maybe the return of Xavier Worthy helps with that, but we'll have to wait and see. But the fact that one of these two teams is going to be 1-3 is
isn't
just
that
insane to me.
isn't that wild though?
It is.
Holy crap.
I mean, Baltimore falling to 1-3, and I'm sitting here saying I still believe in them. And by the way, people complain about our teams. Meanwhile, the Chiefs and Ravens have one more win than the Jets or the Dolphins. Hey, we might have the same record as one of them after tomorrow night, one of us.
Yeah. Oh man. I hope it's the Chiefs though. Let's be real. Because I like Baltimore. I like the organization. I like the coaches. Um, the Chiefs though, the Chiefs annoy me.
Well, it happens. There's always one team that'll get under your skin.
Yeah.
All
They,
right,
they they annoy me more than the Buffalo Bills, and Nate, as I told Nate several times, I hate the Bills. They're
that is a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, then we got Sunday night, which uh, oh yeah, Micah Parsons returns to Dallas. Meanwhile, his old owner keeps taking shots, saying, "Well, it's not like we won any Super Bowls with Micah Parsons here." Oh, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.
Look, you can be salty all you want. You're the one that traded him.
Yeah,
Yes, Parsons requested out or whatever he did, but you traded him. You could have, you could have negotiated a much better contract than what you're offering, and you did it. So be salty, and I pray that you have a good game at least.
I don't know why people let him continue to talk.
He's the
Um,
judge, the jury, and executioner of the Dallas Cowboys. That's his
I,
baby.
I mean, he poking Micah Parsons before this game, not smart. And I got to be honest with you, I don't like the Cowboys' chances in this game. No CD Lamb. One of the offensive linemen's out. They're banged up in the secondary. This might be a game where the Packers feast on the Dallas Cowboys. And poor Dak Prescott. This is not going to be a good night. I like the Packers. But here's the thing for the Packers. If you want to take that step of becoming a really good team, Super Bowl contender, Jordan Love's got to be better than what he was last week.
Yeah.
If he's not better than what he was last week, I got news for you. You ain't going anywhere.
And that's the thing that was the big thumper there. We said such great things about Jordan Love and the offense and the fact that they were scoring points and winning games and look, it wasn't the offense hasn't been great. It hasn't been spectacular, but they were still making plays. So for them to put up a thud against the Browns was kind of tough to watch.
Hmm. Jordan Love is paid like an elite quarterback. They got Micah Parsons because they think they can win the Super Bowl.
Mm,
Jordan Love, the pressure's on you to perform like that.
yeah, and look, this Dallas defense is not that. It's not
This
good.
Dallas even they ain't good.
It's like, go on, let's
Let's roll, brother.
get the job done. And of course, if you're in Big D, so obviously you know the Cowboys, they're gonna want to kick Micah Parsons' ass and stuff.
Big D on a Sunday night.
Yeah, you can't get anything better than that, you know?
That's true. That is true. Doesn't get much bigger or better than that. All right. Some rapid fire, and then we'll close out with our fantasy player. Outside of Eagles Bucks, because obviously one of these teams is going to lose, which 3-0 team is in danger of losing their first game? Just to for the people out there, let me just go over who all the 3-0 teams are. So I pull it up, pull up the standings really quick in the National Football League. Your 3-0 choices are the Buffalo Bills, as I'm still waiting on ESPN's app to load. But the Bills are 3-0, the Colts are 3-0, the Chargers are 3-0. And the NFC said no, Eagles said no, Bucks, and the Niners are 3-0. So out of those teams, who is in the most danger?
The Niners are always vulnerable. I
Hmm.
don't know why this season, but
It's the injuries.
it's the injuries. I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
I'm going to go with the Colts against the Rams. All right. Who plays better today, Mahomes or Lamar? I'm going to go with Mahomes.
I'm gonna go with Mahomes. I
Yeah.
think he's hungry for a victory.
At home, Lamar has never won at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons over under 1.5 sacks.
Over.
I'm going to take the over as well. All right, Dan, who's your fantasy player of the day?
My fantasy player of the day. Let's go, Jameer Gibbs.
Got a text from the old ops guy.
Okay.
He's going Omarion Hampton, the Charger running back.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to go. You know, this is just it's so easy. I'm going to go Josh Allen against that Saints defense in Buffalo. By the way, the line was 17. Like, that's how much respect they're showing you, Spencer Rattler. Come on, baby.
Yep.
All right. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Sunday Sideline Report here on the SIN YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Dan and Bill will be live with the SIP tomorrow.
Yeah, we also want to get a Bombers banter in after the season concludes. By the way, a full slate of 3 o'clock baseball games that I am going to be locked in on for obvious reasons. If you're following baseball, you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah, some of us might be drunk by 3 o'clock because they don't want to know the outcome of some of these
Uh,
games.
no, they don't.
Let's
No,
go, Brewers. Let's go.
they
Let's
don't.
go, Brewers.
Oh man.
Uh,
But yes, we may do a Bombers banter after the games. We'll preview the playoffs and everything. Are you gonna do batter up midweek again?
I'm going to do batter up. Have not decided the day yet. Might be Tuesday morning, day of.
Okay.
Maybe something, maybe tomorrow afternoon if I've got some time. Have not decided yet, but there will be a batter up playoff preview done. There is also going to be a return this week of the Breakaway Bandits podcast.
Hey,
That'll be
yes,
back this week.
hockey. How
So
about Barkov? Did you see that knee injury?
I, I did not see a knee injury.
Wait, was it that or nah, I don't want to talk. Hey, I'm not a hockey guy. He's a hockey guy. No?
So get the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Go to the website, thesportsinsanitynetwork.com for great blogs, vlogs, planes, trains, and automobiles. Follow us on the socials. Facebook Sports Insanity Network, Twitter S Insanity Real. Dan and I, along probably with the old ops guy, will be back next week to preview all things.
Yeah.
Week number 5. Thursday night before Rams Niners, Thursday night gridiron, right here on the YouTube page. Corpus Crispy and his gang will preview that game.
Yeah.
But until then, everyone enjoy week 4. And remember, go Brewers.
Oh man. Oh, go Brewers. What a disaster. What a disaster.
Disaster class.
All right. Enjoy the football. If you're a baseball fan, enjoy the baseball as well. Bye bye.